Welcome to the What Honed You Show.
Where we externalize your internal champion.
And we are back on another episode of What Honed You Show. Got my man, T-Money, back. We even got Trevor, or Terrence back in the mic. Terrence, keep yourself a little cute. Come on, let's see you.
Don't sneeze on the mic.
Like
he's sick right now, so he's stuck in the box.
He's showing up for work.
Don't say what's up. How you feel? How was that? How was the chicken noodle soup?
It was good.
Yeah.
My dad makes the best chicken noodle soup.
Oh, your dad did that for
Yep,
you?
he puts
Those are brownie points right there. He's earning it.
Yeah, he puts full peppercorns in it, mashed potatoes.
Oh,
Yeah, it's next
soaked
level.
peppercorns, like when you soak it in the soup, and
Really?
like a little tea bag. You know, my name's T. You know how many tea bags has happened in my life? You know what I'm saying? And not to me. You know, I'm joking. But hey, Terrence, that's some good shit, right?
Yeah, that
good
sounds
shit.
good. I might be sick tomorrow.
I bet I'm coming down with something
I
too.
know.
So where's the soup kitchen
I
at?
think I'm in for round 2, so yeah.
Yeah. Well, that being said, today we got Drew Dober, the Nebraska boy, coming off a big knockout. I know they judged it as a TKO, but that shit was a knockout.
How do they judge that? So what is the
So
criteria?
no, actually, I heard them talking about it, and they said that the reason they called it as a TKO was because they thought he stopped himself on the way down. Like as he was falling, he put his arms back.
This is what I'm
to
talking
stop
about.
himself.
Knowledge right here. So I've always wondered, like, some are TKOs, some are KOs. I'm like, should you go up for a second shot and just?
Yeah.
No one wants to go and hurt a guy. I mean, there's plenty of people that want to do that, but I always wondered that. And they said because he started to fall with his hand, but
He was locked up. That's
Yeah.
that's
Yeah,
the difference.
I mean, upon the replay, he realized his hands weren't stopping anything; they were just
no, he was sneezing.
falling
Yeah.
backwards. But
and I
he
want
was snoozing.
to tell the commission, like, if you look at your computer, like I got my little iPad right here, the top right button is a little delete. Delete the T. Make it a KO. Like, go back on Monday and say, hey, what was it really? Because there was no need to follow up. Like, bro, amazing fight, by the way.
Thank you. Yeah, my manager's like, do we need to like let them know that the T is not involved? And I was
Dude,
like,
exactly.
I get paid the same, and
Yeah.
it still counts as a knockout. So
You're
where's
humble.
a T or K or whatever, we're good.
It doesn't matter to you, but for me, it does. It's
I mean,
like,
a KO sounds a little bit sweeter, though, right? I
mean,
think so.
Just watch film. We all know.
hey, the best is when you're.
That's
hey,
a highlight reel. For a
Hey, if
while,
I'm the
bro.
opponent fighting Drew, and I'm like, oh, damn, oh, TKO, oh, TKO, TKO, and then I go and watch it, I'm like, I'm a study, and I'm like, oh, damn, there's not no TKO. That's not no TKO. That's good. Hey, it works to your advantage.
That's
you
it.
got to find the positives.
That's it.
So, Drew, tell us, tell the people, the listeners, like me and Trevor kind of known you for a while now, and I mean, you've been in the game for quite some time. I mean, you are a vet now, and I remember when I was getting done with my career, and you were making your splash in the scene, and I remember like literally watching you fight, and I was like, "Holy cow, who is this Drew Dober guy?" And because many moons ago, I was a 155er myself, right?
Little
Wait, tell the people like they were trying to get us to fight each other way back when.
They did
a couple
literally.
times.
They literally tried to get us fighting, and I remember being like, "Dude, this young cat's he's not ready for my level yet." But deep inside, I was like, "Oh God, I'm gonna retire. I gotta get out of here." But it's just amazing that you're still fighting and doing and winning in great statements still. Like you were in it, man.
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy to think that like I made my MMA debut in 2006.
Yep.
And I was
That's
like, man,
crazy.
yeah, you got to dust that off. Like that was so long ago.
20 years,
Yeah.
2 decades.
Dude, yeah, two
amazing.
decades I've been doing
I've
this.
known you for so long, and
Yeah.
we talk about it all the time. I'm like, Luke, he was fighting when you were fighting.
Yeah,
How long have you
100%.
been retired?
I
retired
stopped
in 93,
14
right?
In 2014 as 93.
Yeah, come on, makes the story better.
Yeah, I stopped fighting in 2014, and I just remember like literally like, and then I heard because did you move from Nebraska straight to Oscar? Start training with Oscar?
I just moved to Colorado,
Yeah.
and then I tried to scrape it up while I was here.
How'd you get to Colorado?
So I was,
What brought you here?
I hit the ceiling of Nebraska. I admitted to myself, like, so I made it to the UFC, right? And then I got beat up my very first fight. I was like, all right, well, I think we exhausted these resources, so I got to bench around. So I went to New York, Las Vegas, California, Florida. I went to all these places. But then when I went to Colorado and I kind of like snuck in here, I snuck into Grudge, I snuck in a bunch of places. Like I really enjoyed the vibe here. So I was like, all right. So I went back to Nebraska, threw all everything I own in trash bags, got in my car, drove out here. I mean, my lease wasn't even up. I was just like, I'm going to Colorado. And then I came out to Colorado, joined Team Elevation, which was at Muscle Farm. And I pretty much was just scrapping it up.
Dude,
and
it's
the
amazing.
only person that I knew in Colorado in the fight world was Oscar Martinez through the Muay Thai circuit.
Because you did a lot of Muay Thai prior to it. And I just want to say, Oscar, this dude kicks so hard. I'll never forget. So I was training Dwayne like for so long, like since 2002. And I remember him coming into the gym and I was like, holy crap, this guy kicks so hard.
Oscar, yeah.
Him and Tyrone Spong,
Oh, yeah.
James McSweeney, those guys kick like no other. Like I remember holding for James McSweeney and just like, dude, the way that they kick, I couldn't hold on to the handle. It shocks your body. It rocks your body. And Oscar, I've known for so long. Such a gentleman, such an amazing coach. Like it's great that the loyalty you have had for him because he's one of those guys that puts in the time and he knows what he's doing. Like that dude from a kickboxing standpoint, holy cow.
I mean, he's brilliant. So the fun story I have with him was like, so after I moved out here, he was the only person I knew. So I got scheduled for another fight in the UFC. So I went into his gym and I was doing his classes and I did an entire camp in his gym under his supervision and he had no idea. Right. And so then I went and fought and whatever. And then after I left that fight, I walked up to him and was like, hey, like, do you mind being my coach? And he's like, I don't do MMA. I'm like, I don't need you to. Teach me how to do MMA or Muay Thai in a cage.
Teach me that.
Whatever that was,
Totally.
just show me that. So, yeah, I mean, I did a full camp in his gym without his knowledge.
Really?
Like, I had to earn his attention. And now since I got it, I'm just trying to hang on to it.
Absolutely. They were like, he's legend, dude. So
Dude,
again,
Oscar's
he's been around for
dude.
so long.
Yeah.
I remember, they came in, the first time I met Oscar was he came in with, oh gosh, I'm having a brain fart and I feel bad. Who were we just talking about doing the lumberjacking with us?
Leonard Garcia.
Leonard.
Yeah.
Leonard. Dude, they're both in here. Dude, I remember them coming in this bar and I'm like new to the MMA. I'm from the boxing world. And Dwayne's like, yeah, these guys are going to come in and spar with me. And I remember watching them both spar with Justin. And Leonard, no one knew who he was at the time. He was fighting in New Mexico on the New Mexico cards. And dude, the growth, just to see, again, I got to live side by side with a lot of these mixed martial arts coaches. And I'm going to call him mixed martial arts because he's in it now doing it. But he came from Muay Thai. I came from boxing. It's all martial arts, and we get to share that piece. And I started with karate, wanted to be a ninja, went to boxing, got my ass kicked, and was like, this is real combat. This is what I want to do. Fell back in love with the styles of martial arts when I went to Japan with Dwayne. But dude, he's amazing.
And the thing that I love the most about him and like as a coach, individual, a lot of Muay Thai fighters, it's like the human cockfighting. Like you stand in front of each other and you bang it out, like so that way the audience can put their bets in, right? So that's what I grew up doing. Just you plant your feet and you throw. But the way I was watching Oscar move, I'm like, you don't do that. And the more I learned about Oscar, so he was in a street fight, or not really a fight, but he got blasted in the side of the head with a bottle, right? And after that, he didn't want to take the punishment anymore. He's like, dude, I've already had my jaw broken. I don't want to do that again. So he started developing the Muay Thai style that gets in and out of range, right? And so he can throw kicks, he can throw the full Muay Thai technique, but with footwork. And so I just pretty much was like, hey, teach me how to do that. Like, because I'm trying to sling hands at people, but I'm tired of taking the damage on the way in. Teach me how to do that.
So you moved to Colorado when?
I can't remember the year. You might have to like look at a Google. I think like 2013 possibly.
Yeah, so that's
14.
awesome. So
It's been like 10 years ago.
Yeah, over 10 years. That's awesome.
Right.
That's crazy. Who are your other coaches?
So I got Elliot Marshall, the Easton Training Center at Jiu-Jitsu.
I used to coach Elliot,
and then Dave Zabriskie, former national champion.
Yeah,
I miss seeing him too. Like, to tell Elliot, I said, what's up? I haven't seen him in a while. He's invited us down to the gym, and I tell him, I said, what's up? Dude, a great set of coaches.
Dude, they're
and you're
quality.
doing it still.
Yeah.
So, as a child, were you like fighting? Were you wrestling around? Do you have brothers? Like, dude, what about your childhood? How the heck did you get into Muay Thai?
I mean, I can't run, jump, or catch a ball, so my options were limited.
Kind of like, dude, you guys are brothers. That's your brother.
We are from Nebraska.
Hey, that's your brother. Dude.
Yeah, in Nebraska, you either play football or you fight, and dude, I can't catch a ball to save my life. So I was like, all right, we gotta start throwing hands. But no, I don't know, to describe myself, I wasn't a very rough and tough individual. I was anti-confrontational. You know, I've like always been like flamboyant, or I don't know, just a fun individual. But Jean-Claude Van Damme, Bloodsport, the age of 5. I saw that video.
You kind of look like him.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
Right?
look
He
at
has the body
dude,
for it.
So
right
the
there.
shirt that you're wearing right now, okay, that's a muscle shirt.
Yeah.
If I put that shirt on, it'd be a shirt. It'd be a shirt.
The keys, you wear the schmediums. So
Well,
that way
I know. I've tried on his. I've tried on my son's when he was growing up. I tried on his extra youth small, and they just make me look skinnier. They just pull everything else in.
But were you doing Muay Thai in Nebraska?
No, I got really lucky. So I just opened up some yellow pages. Man, you're gonna have to educate people what yellow pages are.
Yeah,
Right. But I opened it up and I was like, I just want to join martial arts. You know, like I'm so fascinated. I always want to join it. So I thumbed through, found a place. I walked there, and then like there was like, yeah, we teach Taekwondo, and I was like, sure, I'll just give it a shot. But I was so lucky because this is one of the gyms that Jeremy Horn used to train at.
Oh,
right.
No kidding.
And so they advertised like, we'll show you Taekwondo. But when I was there, they were showing like half guard, and then there's this tall dude came in every Thursday, and he taught leg kicks.
Nice.
Right. And so like I was getting the mixture of martial arts, and then like later on, I saw a bunch of tattooed dudes rolling in gis, and I was like, what are they doing? They're like, oh, they're doing Brazilian jiu-jitsu. I was like, let me try some of that. And then they showed me my very first fight, and I'm like, that's it. That's what I'm doing. So at the age of like 13, I was like, I'm going to start fighting people in cages.
That young.
Yeah.
You knew it, huh?
Yeah. I was a freshman in high school, and I was like, this is what I'm going to do.
Yep.
Look,
Right.
when did you start?
I didn't start until after high school.
Yeah.
Yeah. I did not start. I used to watch it, on, pay-per-view and stuff like that. But
No, you're back in the day, Blockbuster. You go in there and you get the UFC.
100%.
Dude,
He
hey.
said Yellow Pages. I knew what that was. Most people don't. You remember them.
Dude, I miss going to the Blockbuster and seeing UFC. That's the only way you can watch it.
Yeah,
It was like Faces of Death. It was like in that area. Like it's like, oh, dude, it's very XXX rated.
Yeah, well, kids nowadays won't even know what a movie, like a Blockbuster is. You know what I mean? Like,
Have you ever seen the South Park?
which one?
Where he buys a Blockbuster, he comes home and tells his wife, for $10,000, I got a running business. And
Really?
she's like, what'd you spend your money on? He gets a Blockbuster. And it's during Halloween, they go there, there's like this, like, it's all like cobwebs. And
Yep.
it's like, there's spooky, like old people going in there and trying to rent. And dude, the kids walk by, the ball goes in the parking lot, dude, and they're all like scared of it.
Yeah.
Dude, Blockbuster. Then the Red Box came.
Dude,
Oh,
it needs to come back because, man, the novelty of Blockbuster was you committed to the movie you bought,
Totally.
and you had to watch it. good
and
or
you
bad.
paid $2 if you didn't rewind the VHS.
Yeah. I spend more
That's
time
before CD
looking
and
for
DVDs.
movies than actually watching movies. But when you went to Blockbuster, you picked that one out, and now you got to commit to it.
Totally.
Good or bad. Like, I'm watching the 90
It was
minutes.
the best because I would go there. So Terrence was in the day of DVDs. Like he got to experience it a little
Okay,
bit.
yeah,
He's
that's
28.
it.
But ours, when we had VHS,
Yep.
if you didn't rewind it for them, they'd have to put it in the machine and rewind it, charge you $2. And it was like a $1.79 rental.
That's crazy. I remember my parents would let us get a movie, and then if we were really good, we'd be able to get like a Nintendo game.
Yeah.
Or a-
yeah.
Oh, yeah, you got to rent games back in the day.
yeah,
there.
dude,
That's
that
so
was,
crazy.
That was it, dude. That was all I
Now
could
it's
live
all
for.
online.
I know. Every weekend, that was our goal, just to go Blockbuster.
And you had to go on a Tuesday because that's when they were cheap,
yep,
right? It's
uh-huh.
like you went on a Tuesday and like, I can't watch this on Friday.
Yep. So, anyways,
Dude, we could talk about Blockbuster. This
know.
is nice. I like it a lot.
so you went to you came from Nebraska, Omaha, right? Billion.
I was in Millard.
Millard, yeah.
Yeah.
You Millard boy. huh?
Trust me, it was not a good vibe for me because where I grew up and where I went to school were two totally different
Yeah.
cultures.
Yep.
Really?
And
Was it a small town?
It's like a suburb. Of
So it's bigger
Omaha,
than
the
your
city.
town. I've been to your town.
Omaha's huge.
Dude, I was going to
It's the
say,
biggest city in Nebraska.
yeah.
it's
it's the
Omaha's
biggest-
gangster.
Yeah, that's gangster. And like Millard and like.
No wonder why he got
Vermillion,
that pimp walk.
Yo, he's straight up. That's why he needed to learn
I
how
thought
to fight.
Nebraska, not like the. I watched a show where they said Omaha was like one of the most dangerous
It
cities
is.
in the whole United States.
It's rough.
I mean, I always have to remind people. I was like, where I'm from. Like, dude, I was with Terrence Crawford, Anthony Smith.
Yeah.
Who's the guy that knocked out Houston Alexander?
Houston.
I was like,
Dan, that's crazy. You're
These
bringing back
aren't
ties.
farm boys.
Dang. So I had a whole different visual. I pictured, what's the movie? What is it? Yes Man. When they go out to Nebraska.
Yeah.
I pictured your place being the place where they had the phone museum.
No.
That was Lincoln, Nebraska.
Yeah, that's Lincoln.
Lincoln's pretty big too.
So did you train with like guys like Alonzo Martinez, Sean Wilson, all those guys?
All those guys.
Yeah,
I
those-
fought Sean Wilson.
Oh, you did.
Yeah.
So, those are all the guys that I was always competing against. You know,
Yeah.
like me and Alonzo fought like 3 times for the belt, for the VFC belt, nonstop.
I remember.
Like-
I was there watching those
Like,
fights.
dude, those guys are like they were like Omaha
Yeah.
fighters right back in the day,
Dude,
man.
they're
Hey,
looking like kings.
Nebraska, they fight not in octagons or hexagons or what do the PFL used to call theirs, the didectagon. Dude, it was like, they came out with all these names because
Really?
the didectagon. Look it up. It's like 13 sides. UFC
Really?
owns the octagon.
Yeah,
You know,
that-
but in Nebraska, they created
The cell.
a square.
It was a kennel.
It's a kennel.
yeah.
It was.
It's exactly, you put the dogs in, dude.
No.
We were out there, we were fighting, God, who's the wrestler? Very popular guy out there, the 2 brothers. One of them.
Oh,
fought
the
in UFC.
Ellenbergers.
Ellenbergers.
We
Jake.
fought Joe, who was the
Yeah.
really good wrestler, and it
Yep.
was Justin Salas fighting him in that square cage, and he had him there, and he's like, dude, I was like, because he had him cornered, and his head's in the thing, and Justin's
Yeah.
got his hips up, and I'm like, knee him in the ass, like, you know, just
Yeah.
and dude, I was like, oh shit, because this is like his hometown. And dude, the guy behind me, he's like, knee him in his ass, and I was like, oh god, that made me feel a lot better. I
You're
was like,
one of
"Don't wanna
us
get
because that
down
came
here."
to your mind.
Dude,
You're
exactly.
You're one of
Dude,
us.
I'll tell
Well,
you what.
what's crazy, even like this last week, I was commentating Nebraska, and like I still forget, like in the amateurs, you can knee to the head, you can elbow to the face, like everything's like
As
such a-
amateurs.
as an amateur, right? Well, back then in the cell, I remember at one point in my career, Alonzo had me pinned in that corner. Dude, he would bring his knee straight up my guts and hit me square on the chin, and I was pinned in the cage, and I'm like, stop. Dude, it was so.
That's how you
much
got good at
violent.
holding tie pads. That's a good hold
I
right there.
know. It was crazy, and I just remember, dude, this was so. It was just such a Wild West back
Well,
then.
dude, we got to educate the people. Like the square cage was probably not a forethought. What it was just trying to get some cheap tools from
Yeah.
Home Depot.
Totally.
Like all they did was
100%.
they bought 4 pieces of fence,
Yeah.
and then like some wire
Yeah.
to wrap that together. Like it's a square now.
That's exactly what it was.
Yeah.
Like, there's no rubber on the side of it.
No, it's
no.
And
It was
I saw the
brutal.
door
The cell?
fly open numerous
Yeah.
times. People had to like gather themselves and get back into the cage. No, like
And then
what-
you got the guy who's like controlled the cage. He's like, oh, sorry, man. I won't forget.
sorry, I missed that one. It needs a pin. I have the pin. I had
That's
to
what
stir my
happened this
drink.
weekend.
Stir my drink.
What do you mean?
It happened this weekend. It was my first.
This is a
time ever
Nebraska
seeing-
thing.
Yeah.
I've never seen this before, right?
Yeah.
I've never seen these two 185ers literally just lock up, and he just pulls them back and hits the door, flying right out the door, dude. And I'm like,
Really?
oh shit, I've never seen anything like this. And guy hops right back.
I'm
up.
going back to Nebraska because I miss the underground fight
Oh, it
scene.
was
Dude, it's
great.
so good. It's so good.
It is
It's
the
real.
best.
Dude, one of my favorite. I have so many stories of Nebraska fights, but one of my favorite ones was I would like help out, right? And so I would go to. It's called Omaha Fight Club, and it's where I got my start, right? So what it was you just showed up at 4 p.m., right? Weigh-ins are at 4:30, right? They got their fight together at 5, and fight started at 6. So in other words, there was no camps.
Yeah.
There- like
just
you just
fun.
showed up on that Saturday, and then you just fight whoever they put you up against, and that's why they had this square cage and stuff. So one of my favorite stories is they had like a night of 20 plus fights, and all of them being ended by guillotines, right? Because in Nebraska, we know how to
Yeah.
do guillotines, but we don't know how to defend guillotines.
Yeah.
So they came up with a rule: if your fight is over within 30 seconds, you can have an immediate rematch.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, sounds good. Very first fight on that rule, the dude gets TKO'd in 20 seconds. Pops right back up. He was like, I want a rematch. And then he won by decision. So that man went 1-1 that night without even leaving the cage.
That is amazing.
It's crazy.
I like these rules.
The it's Nebraska.
It's
That's kind of like the stripper fights. You see it like strip clubs.
Yep.
You know,
Yeah.
all these girls have issues
Anything
and
to
they're
keep
out there oil wrestling.
Yeah.
This is like that's real?
That's
100%.
Why you call it the cell?
Well, because it reminds me of the cell, right? Like,
Seriously, you
like-
come out, you have a number, you have stripes.
Yeah, I mean,
You pretty much are a number at that point. Like,
anything to keep the alcohol sales going.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
The liability form 4, that's you. Liability form 12.
Who has fought just for beer?
I mean,
Do
I'm
like do free beer?
Just
oh,
all of
I'll
them.
fight.
Dude,
Man,
all of
it's
them.
I
awesome.
mean, pretty much, back in the day, we pretty much fought for that. I mean, it was literally
Your Subway
it
coupons.
was
Like, that's what
crazy.
we were fighting for.
It was crazy.
Yeah, no, selling your own tickets. I mean, they still do that.
Yeah, but it was way worse back then. You know what I mean? Like,
so Nebraska, I want to ask you, and don't get mad at me.
I won't.
You always get mad at me. How many tornadoes did you see on the way home?
Ooh,
You come back yesterday.
I didn't see any tornadoes.
Really? I
ran-
just pictured
I went
tornado
from-
after tornado
Listen,
after
I went from
the old
fires,
Terraneta.
I went from fires to rain to snow to a blizzard
What do you mean fires?
in that 4-hour trip.
There's fires out
So
there right
in
now?
Nebraska, it's all fired. out
Really?
there. Yeah, there's fires everywhere. Yeah, it's so dry, and so I mean, it was all like, smelling like smoke, dark.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and then I got
That's like a-
couple hours out of there.
Apocalypse.
Yeah, it's weird, and it started raining. I was like, oh, they need some more rain.
Yeah.
It's coming their way, so it's good. To a blizzard. I have over a foot at my house right now.
You survived and you made it here. I'm proud of
I
you.
mean, I'm good.
Yeah, you made it.
4-wheel drive
From Nebraska. I mean, we know this.
It's just so weird. It's like a
Hey,
4-hour
do you know
drive.
that he said the same thing you said when he moved to Colorado? I
What's
want to
that?
know, like, Terrence, look this up. If you can find out, what do they sell at, like, let's say at Kohl's? Do you even have a Kohl's out there?
No.
Where can you
Maybe
buy
in
like
Omaha.
luggage? Where can you buy luggage in Nebraska? Because both of these guys came with Glad bags.
Yeah.
You guys both had
We were
plastic
broke.
bags.
We were broke fighters.
I'm
dude.
joking, Terrence. Sorry about that. Look, I had him looking too. Dude, he was
working.
over there looking. I got you.
I had hefty black trash
Dude,
bags.
he said the exact same thing.
Yep.
You guys are like so similar.
Yep. Because my dad and mom actually let me buy a U-Haul, or they paid for a U-Haul truck to put my bed in there. They were like, "Get the hell out of this house."
Yeah, I didn't find about travel bags until I moved out to Colorado. So,
Yeah.
I mean, we were just, I'm sure they
Backpack.
have it.
They
but
had backpacks.
We're like, why?
Do you
Why?
have like hay sacks? You're like, I can put a lot of clothes in that hay sack.
Right?
That's awesome.
So I guess here's the thing, Drew. Like, I'm a guy that you've been in the game for so long now, like, and me and Trevor, we're obviously been around too, but like, it's always nice to have a guy that we don't work with, but we know of you. Like, what is your keys for the job? Like, what's your way? Your success. What has been your success along these
So I
all
told
these years?
Trevor before here, I was able to clearly define what fighting means to me. And I always said that fighting means the constant search of self-improvement. So since the moment 18, 19, 20, right? Fighting was a tool to teach me how I can grow as a person, right? In the cage and then outside of the cage. And so I've constantly had that thought in my mind is like win, loss, draw, cancellation, whatever the fighting world brings me, how can I use this to make myself better intelligently, physically? And so all the connections, taught me how to do taxes, taught me how to treat my brain accordingly, be intelligent, eat, all that stuff. So fighting has taught me how to improve as a person that I wish, or I hope I can just continue after fighting. But the longevity in the sport and my success all comes down to the idea of how am I improving from this moment? How do I get better physically and mentally? And that's never changed for the 20 years that I've been in the fight game.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I mean, look at your longevity. The
It's
key,
crazy
we
right
talk about
there.
it all the
Yeah.
time. But I get out of that. There's so much into just the next day. Just every day. Once you like you could be into something, and once you get bored of it, you stop growing. Find something that you love to do. And one thing about fighting, which I get to realize with a lot of guys like you and guys like me, that fighting, once you do it, it's so hard, it's so scary. It's always like, dude, what am I doing? And afterwards, you're like, when is this again? Like you face something that's so scary, and you get back on the horse, no matter the outcome. And life is a fight. Like and people, I want you to understand that we're all fighters. Everybody's fighters. You go through trauma, growing up. Some people don't. Some people have the nice life, but life will always bring you something. The more money you make, the more money gets, you have to pay in taxes. That's a fight where you're like, oh my gosh, I claimed this, but all of a sudden they're coming back and now I'm being audited, going to court. All the different things people go through, having a child that gets ill and you have to sit in the hospital for 3 weeks to see if they're going to make it and what you're going through. Life is a fight. And these guys choose to do this on a daily basis, which is so inspiring to me because I got to do it as an amateur and I get to live it as a coach. And I love when people have something that scares them because their eyes open. They get up with different intention. If you're going to lift weights, it's I always talk about the abs when someone comes into the gym. I'm like, hey, man, keep your core locked at all times. And they're like, oh, man, it's such an unawareness. And I'm like, it's not an unawareness because when you go to the beach, you're flexing those abs the whole time. They're flexing. And then when
Maybe not Drew, but this guy.
I'm flexing even harder.
Dude, when they're flexing and they get to the bar real quick and they turn, no one can see them. They're like, oh, look at their drink. And then they turn around and they're like, but it's awareness to how can I be better. And that's a very important piece to a skill. That is a skill. Find something that scares you and something that gives you want. And I love how you said it. You want to be a better person. Fighting, everybody thinks like fighters are just jerks and they're just, they just like to hurt people. I hardly ever meet, I've met people, but I hardly ever meet people that want to hurt their opponent. Mm-hmm. They want to challenge yourself against the best opponent. I've seen so many times in this sport where a fight falls out day of the fight. We had Justin fighting the Russian kid. I forget what his name was in the World Series for a title. Day of the fight. Justin was not excited to hear that he was not going to fight because he wants the challenge. And that's a huge thing. Like if you put all this time in, you want to see where you're at. And that's what it is. It's assessment of yourself. It's how can I look at myself in the mirror and not turn my eyes down? And what I mean by looking in the mirror, if you look at yourself in the mirror and you can look at yourself and go, man, you're the one. You're the one doing this. I'm proud of you. There's no better feeling than being able to tell yourself that because we all have our own goals. But when I look at myself in the mirror late at night and I'm like, and you can't even look at yourself, you had a goal for yourself. You had something you wanted to do that scared you and you didn't show up or you didn't want to do it. Or I hit someone low purposely today in sparring. Like those types of things. And I know I did that wrong just to get a break. Like there's so many different things. I showed up late again when my coach asked me to be there and I wanted to do better. I can't look at myself. I always used to do that with fighters. Hey, show up 10 minutes early tomorrow. And they walk in the gym and they're like, right as they get in the door, they're like, oh, shit, I was supposed to be here 10 minutes early. And they walk by my door. They're like, what's up, coach? And I'm like, hey, come in here. They look at me like this. And they can't really look at you. They're like kind of side-eyed. When you can look at yourself in the mirror, that's what fighting is. It means that you're facing what scares you. And no matter the outcome, you showed up.
Yeah.
Look at yourself in the mirror and find what drives you, what scares you. And you'll be amazed at what you can find in this world. I've known you for so long. Since you've been in Colorado, I've been watching you. And I was always like, dude, this dude's got these calves. He's always on his toes. Like, dude, right? Huge like when he spars, like his heels legs. Never touch the ground. Always on the balls of his feet. And has been doing this for so long and continues to do it at the highest level. Like his win was 2 weeks ago. Amazing. Like this, and it keeps going and it keeps going and it keeps going. That's someone who's not going to let go of the rope. It's very easy once you start to get experience to want to let go because it gets harder. And I was talking to you about this a little bit earlier. The more experience you get does not make this easier. You're fighting better people. You're getting more experiences when breaking a hand in a fight. I hope I don't break my hand. I'm probably not going to throw it as hard. Oh, I got really tired of my last fight. I'm worried about getting tired. These more experiences that you have really start to blockade. So the longer that you can do this, and then the biggest piece, the getting up. And I've said this on a few podcasts that my favorite part in fighting is not seeing someone get knocked down. It's seeing someone get up. And it's the way they get up. It's their next fight. And when you can overcome a loss, overcome being stopped, overcome a fight being stopped by a cut, and then come back and do it again and perform, that is the strongest mind you're ever going to find in this world. It's very easy when you're the nail or when you're the hammer. But when you become the nail, that's where this sport gets really tough. And that's facing adversity. That's what fighting's about, is overcoming. And it's so cool to hear these stories and have you on the show. Like, I love just getting into the fighters' minds. I love the mental piece. I love that. And going into that piece, I would love to talk to you a little bit, just pretty much facing your fears. This is a topic on, what have you had to overcome in this sport? Because you've been doing it for so long. Was it injuries? Was it trauma? Was it people telling you couldn't do it? What have you, or just the fear of fighting? Have you had to face fears?
Yeah, I mean, a ton. I don't know what you're saying is, fighting is just an abbreviated version of life, right? And so being the nail happens a lot more outside of fighting than people come to realize. I have the privilege of just experiencing it for 45 minutes here with Gagey.
Yeah.
It's like I am the nail today.
Yeah.
But a lot of people don't get to experience or at least acknowledge that, like, I'm just being a nail for this week, 2 weeks, this quarter with my job, So I have the privilege of seeing things abbreviated and simplified, right? I can put my hands on it. Now, I think the hardest part of fighting for me that I've dealt with is how much your outside life goes into the octagon with you. And not a lot of people think, we watch Embedded, we watch the countdowns, where we love these guys because they're father, husband, they're good people, but we don't really think about that 15 minutes in there. We're carrying the last 2 months, 3 months, 5 months of our lives into that octagon. And how are we going to perform at our best with all that baggage we're bringing in with? And so for me, I think the growth or the trying to get overcome is just knowing that things are going to change and my life is going to present obstacles in which I'm going to either have to control, dismiss, or manage when I'm in that octagon. And that's been kind of like the roller coaster ride of my when I started in my 20s. And as you guys know, as you get older, the problems are going to be more significant. Like, I'm a husband now, I'm a father now. And so one of the biggest things was maintaining that youthful mindset that I believe, the mind of a champion is a mind of a child. But I'm so far from being a child right now. People depend on me. And that dependency turned into a thought process that I wasn't able to see. I was so negatively motivated, and how the mind I was bringing into the gym, the mind I was bringing into the octagon was just representing that the amount of pressure I was feeling outside of the cage. And it was hard for me to dismiss. So all the growth that I've been doing, after, a significant period where I experienced losses, I had to look inwards, how am I going to improve in this moment? How am I going to grow? And I've just learned to better handle my life outside of the cage, directly reflected how I performed within the cage. And so that's how fighting has made me a better person outside of the cage, is because, it transcends. And so that was kind of my biggest fear, my biggest deterrent with fighting is just how I'm living outside of the cage is affecting it. And I was and I don't know how to control that. And maybe you dismiss the control, maybe you try to manage it, or maybe you double down on the things that happen outside of the cage. And I'm sure, Trevor, with you, you can see it too with your athletes. It's, we're coming in half-hearted, empty-minded, clustered, and we're carrying all this stuff. And that is probably the biggest fear in fighting, is how do you not think about that breakup, in this fight when it just happened not too long ago?
Yeah.
And now another man's trying to hurt me, and I kind of want this to happen, And it's just an aspect that I don't think casuals think about. It's just that thought process going into a cage.
You had me just thinking. I've watched you win numerous times, and every time Justin does the backflip, right, and everything, and that's his way of doing his KOs, knockout TKOs. You do a different approach, and you go across the ring, take a knee, and you kind of the respect of that of mixed martial arts. I see. Can you talk to me about that? What is that going through your head there?
So it's doing two things. One, it's act like you've been there. So in other words, you envisioned winning. So why is it a surprise? Right. So because I'm not surprised that I won, now I do the second part, which is in the biggest stage in the world, in the most selfish sport in the world, I want to take this time where I can beat my chest, and I want to acknowledge another man in front of me, right? Because my love for humanity transcends this small period in my career, right? And I want to use this moment, which is going to be the most glorified moment of my life. And I want to choose to focus on another person, hoping that it will also build into, when I'm done fighting, I can focus on other people regardless of how I feel. Whether it's excitement, disappointment, or whatever, I can look another man in his eyes and see how he's feeling. And that's big for me.
That's
That's
pretty
awesome.
sweet.
That's the
pretty
giving
sweet.
back, You without an opponent, and I say this all the time, without a fighter, you don't have a manager, you don't have a coach, you don't have a promotion, you don't have a fight. You don't have a fan. It takes two to tango. And the thing is you're not tangoing against someone else that caused a personal issue where you have to go and defend yourself against someone or go and kick someone's ass for affecting your family or doing something like that. You need a partner, and you need a partner to expose the things that you need to work on and then also bring out the greatness. And that's the coolest part about fighting is when you are in there with someone and you share this traumatic experience, chaos, with another person. And dude, I remember my first best friend was after a street fight. We fought each other and then we became best friends because you share something in there. You earn respect for each other. And that is such a cool part in the sport. I love that you say, hey, yeah, I want to help other people. Justin's the same way. He wants to go and help people once he's done fighting. And you are helping people. There's people out there that are fighting diseases, that are getting over, someone passing away. And you inspire them to go out there and face those things and get better and just live with that spirit because they know that fighting's hard. Especially if they've been in a fight or had to face someone. That is a scary thing. And the way that you guys do it with such love, it just, again, we celebrate here and there depending on the level of the fight because you're like, holy cow, this is the next stage. It's always been hard for me, especially once I hit about 40, was to celebrate and be like, oh, we just kicked your ass. I'll never forget when we fought Karate Hottie that she used to train up in Colorado. Mm-hmm. And Rose was fighting her. And I remember looking over and seeing
Michelle Watterson.
Yeah, and seeing her, thank you for putting the name out there. And seeing her grandma, which I knew, and her daughter, which I didn't know, but she was like 2 years old at the time. I remember looking over right before the fight and seeing them, and they used to train in my gym. And Rose went out there and head kicked her, dropped her, got on her back, and choked her out. And there was like blood bubbles on her nose. Like it was so grueling to watch on the screen. I remember everybody celebrating, and all I could do was look over at her family, and they were gone. And I was just like, oh, it's like it was such a good win, but it was such an unblessing feeling to see what we just did to someone else's family. So the fight sport it's fun, but it's not brutal. It's not this chaos. Actually, there's a ton of chaos, and it is brutal. But from the mentality of the people that get in and do this, that entertain us, don't be afraid to go up and say what's up to any of these fighters. As long as you don't annoy them and ask them for stupid shit and too many autographs. But go up and say what's up and be grateful to them. Like say, man, I'm so grateful to watch your fights. Like yeah. We in this industry love people coming up and saying what's up and giving their gratitude to what we do because we do go out there and we don't just face another human being. We face the world watching our performance. And that's a scary thing. Like I talking about the facing your fears. I couldn't even imagine. I've never fought as a professional, and I could not imagine going out there and fighting on that level and dealing with that, coming home to all the questions. God, why don't you just squeeze them harder?
Yeah.
The little things that you'd get, like
Rip
that's
his dick
hard.
off.
Yeah. That's a tough thing. So it's very cool to get inside the mind of top level athletes like yourself and just get to kind of hear the true story. You're always going to find out these are just normal human beings that are facing the hardest things in the world, the things that scare them the most. And that's really cool to hear.
Yeah. Well, it's cool and rewarding to see that a guy that's a killer like yourself that still has that respect in as such a high level game. You know what I mean? Like Michael Johnson, this last one, dude, he's a vet himself. Like that was our first fight in the UFC. We knew
been fighting for so long.
We
He's
knew what
so
kind
dangerous.
of
So, dude, how fast is he?
He's
Dude,
so fast.
It's crazy.
You can probably look at the video. Did I try to match his athleticism in the first 30 seconds? And obviously, by these stitches, I didn't match up.
Dude,
So I was like, all right.
his left hand is lightning, dude.
Everything comes out like a whip.
Dude, it's crazy.
Everything was
Dude, it's
coming out.
crazy.
He's so
And he's
good.
got like weird angles.
Yeah.
Like once you started getting on the shadow and being Drew, like if I were to say from the outside, just watching in, just from a technical standpoint, I'm always when I'm watching as a friend, and I'm always like screaming things at the TV, and I'm like, get on his shadow, because once you start getting on the shadows, your power is just so incredible, and you take it so well there. But I mean, the one time that you got in trouble was John Silva when you got on the shadow and he starts spinning. Like there's always there's a counter to everything you do, but you just get in on people and you find those shots, the King Green shot. Like, dude, when you get into that range and if they start to like just pull back a little bit, Dude, you got thunder in your hands,
Yeah,
man.
dynamite, bro. You do literally have dynamite.
God bless me
Yeah.
with a left hand that I can answer my problems with.
Dude,
You
I
know?
like this
Thank
guy.
God I became a fighter.
This guy right
You
here,
got
this
it.
guy was known for his right hand. And
Yeah.
so we got this punch machine, and you're the second on the list right
Yeah,
now, second
yeah.
on the list. But that's not bad for being 64 years
Yeah,
old.
dude, I still
like
got it.
64 years old, and he still carries his power. You don't lose your power. You're always going to carry your power. Now, the way he takes a shot,
Yeah.
I see you get kicked today. You held your knee. And he's like this.
I know.
Dude, his bottom lip like shriveled up a little bit.
I'm old.
We
now.
can't take it like we used to. Yeah.
Especially
He
those
still
knees.
give it, though.
Especially those knees.
Well,
Oh,
These are
my
gone.
gosh, dude.
But this is kind of the topic that we were going on because like I literally just like you have done so much in the sport and like fought some high level dudes and you put them to sleep and you're just like sticking around and you're still there with some big massive knockouts. And this is kind of where Trevor, like you talk about the champion,
Yeah.
the internal.
So externalizing your internal champion. This is something that I think is very important to always bring up in this podcast because I want to get inside of you. And what I mean by inside of you is understanding what made you boil, or did you envision being where you're at? Did you because I clearly did. I would talk to people, and anytime someone would say, you can't do that, I'd be like, oh, I'm going to show you. And I would just close my eyes and try to picture it. And I remember one of the coaches, I would look into like a flame on a candle and just picture myself having it. I remember when I wanted to have a boxing world title and I got injured and I couldn't fight professional. So I started coaching at a very young age. And I would just dream the belts. And I was like, dude, belts just started arriving. And every time I get a belt, I'm like, this isn't how I pictured it. I pictured it being heavier. Like the UFC belts are heavy. But like the boxing belts, and we got the IBF. Dude, there was like a ruby missing. I'm like, damn, this is a brand new belt,
little
dude.
black missing,
Dude, I'm
yeah,
just
I
like,
know.
dude, it was like one of those trophies you
From
get at like,
ringside.
dude,
Me and you probably
it
had
was, oh my gosh, like
shit would fall off, and I'm like, what the hell?
totally. But you have to envision something and seeing yourself do that. Have you done that throughout your career? And when you started, did you dream big?
Yeah, absolutely. Like earlier on, like in high school, like I was meant for great things, and I envisioned being the undefeated world champion at like 24 years old. And like I can say it now because that's what I was thinking. I was gonna make it to the UFC by 18, champion by 24. Like this is what happened, and then reality set in,
Yep.
and then that was like the hardest part was just understanding that like my envision, which I was strong. Now it wasn't happening that way. And so like what do I need to do, what I do. And I had a quote of myself after a loss. Like I fought Will Brooks was his name, Bellator
remember,
champion.
yep, I remember.
And I
Yeah.
got beat by half guard. And like after the fight, they're like, how are you feeling? And what came out of my mouth was like, man, I envision myself as an Anderson Silva and I go out there perform like Vanderlei Silva. Like what happens? Like, and so I have this envision in my mind of what I'm capable of and things aren't happening the way I'm envisioning them. And I was like, why? And so now 37 years old, presented with all this experience, I've learned that like, you have to learn more about yourself. At 14 years old, saying I'm going to be an undefeated world champion is easy said because I didn't know anything, right? So it's so easy for me to, reach for the clouds because my mind was already in them, right? But now with all the experience that I've gained, but the goal stayed the same. Like I want to be a world champion. How do I behave? What goals do I need to create? And what about myself is getting in my own way? And so at my later years, 30 years old and going on, it's learning how to step out of my own way to achieve those goals because I've been the problem. And at 20 years old, as we all know,
you don't know that.
at 20 years old, you are the problem.
Yeah.
I mean, you're just in a sports car, but you're a horrible driver,
Yeah.
And like now I'm just learning and I was like, oh, the reason I wasn't a champion at this age was because I was doing this to myself. And it's always been me the entire time.
Yeah.
So now with my success in the UFC and getting these knockouts, it's learning how to get out of my own way and just the tools that I'm just now coming up with, to make that happen.
Are you proud of that?
Yeah.
Very much so.
So
And this is a skill that's going to carry on after they're fighting.
So that's something that's I call it the walk of a champion. And we were talking with Dwayne on Friday, and he had asked me, "Can Coach you make anybody a champion?" And I said, "Absolutely." And I'm not talking about a champion with a belt. I'm not. That's material. And you're only a champion when you have that belt on. That will hurt you. When you lose it, all of a sudden you feel like you lost your favorite girlfriend. A champion is a mindset. And externalizing your internal champion is finding greatness in doing what you love and watching what comes into your life. I wanted to be a champion as a fighter. All of a sudden, I've now got 27 world champions as a coach. So different than what I thought.
Yeah.
And then I realized I wanted this style so much more because I was helping people and getting so much more out of it. Like, I don't know what I would have been. My ego was big when I was young. I was a little freaking, I was a doucher. You know what a doucher is? Look it up, Terrence. Hey, dude.
I believe that. I
Being a
believe
champion in life is being able to go out there, dream big, make a plan, have a destination, and do your best to get there. And that destination might not be the one that you claimed in the beginning because plans always change. If I want to go to Florida, I set a roadmap. And I'm like, oh, I'm going to get there in 2.5 days. I'm going to drive. All of a sudden, I'm tired, and I'm pulling over, and I'm like, hey, I got to sleep for a little bit. Then I hit a detour. Then I have to go off this other direction. It's going to take me an extra 3 days to get there. Oh, it's going to shorten my trip by 2 days. I was planning on having 5 days out here. Let me spend 3 days in North Carolina. All of a sudden, I'm living there, and I'm like, I didn't move back. I didn't go back after vacation because this is what I wanted from Florida, but Florida's really hot, and I wanted it not to be crazy hot, but I still got the beach. And so the thing is, when you dream big, you start to envision what you want to have and find your path. The plan's always going to change. You need a plan, and you're always going to be adjusting your plan. But as you grow, you're going to look back and go, look at the journey I've been on. And it's these multiple little goals that you have to do internally to get to that big dream. And this was not the dream. If I look at myself as a child and what I wanted to be, this is not the dream.
Yeah.
It is way better.
Yeah.
It is, you find this way. I mean, you're a father now. Like, I'd never thought of myself being a father. Like, I remember kids, my friends, like little brothers, telling on us all the time. I'm like, fuck that. You know, I'm never having kids. So then when I had my son, it changed my life. Like, I didn't realize the father I'd be. I didn't realize how important it was for me to take care of a family. And fighting has taught me this.
Yeah.
And it's the journey and has made me a champion. All those belts that I just said that we have won, they're all, dude, I got belts up on the wall right now that I was looking at. I was telling Justin's mom, Justin Gaethje's mom, Caudillo. I'm like, look at the belt. The leather's like pulling apart on one of the UFC belts. It's like, they wear out. They're material. But what you have inside that you can bring to this world, that is the walk of a champion. And it's very cool to sit there and just understand what comes from inside you that makes you is so important because that's your goals. You see what you want. I'd hate to eat freaking mint chocolate chip ice cream if I only like vanilla because I'm being force-fed. When you get to choose, I want to be this, and then you realize how close you became to it. Was it exactly that? And I guarantee you, if that's exactly what you were going for and you get there, you're still going to find something else. Well, I need something else. Like it brings you into that piece. And be a champion. Like, I believe you're a champion right now. You're the walk of a champion. The way you
100%.
walk, you would help an old lady cross the road. Just the way you are.
Yeah.
You're a
good
living
people.
legend for this sport, and I appreciate it.
Yeah, you're good people.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I try my best to be, you know, but I think just to continue what you're saying is like fighting was able to teach me that self-awareness, you know, like you got to know yourself before you get into that octagon. And I've been learning a lot of myself. So in that, the metaphor of going down to Florida, man, everyone tells me how good Miami is. Miami's gonna be the great.
Yeah.
Florida looks beautiful. You guys should be there. You got to be there. It's gonna be amazing, you know. And then I make a trip there and I'm like, don't feel that good.
And then you
know,
walk into this beautiful house, and he's like, "Hey, you cockroaches!"
But
then
then-
you're like, "Oh damn, it's Scarface's house. Get out!" Oh,
But then you realize you go up to like Wyoming and you just like sit by yourself in a cabin.
Oh,
you're like,
dude.
dude, this is amazing.
Yeah.
I like this. Why am I listening to all these people telling me that Florida is the place
Absolutely.
when it's not the place for me? And once you learn more about yourself, you start realizing that the goals need to reflect you and not reflect the other people. And it just,
self-image. That's what fighting
Yeah.
teaches. That's
Yeah.
the champion. Follow
Yeah.
your own dreams.
and I'm still working on it. And so
I think we all are.
yeah,
Still, you know.
I don't think that
Yeah,
it ever goes away. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, speaking of, you know, working on yourself, I know that
Here,
you
where we
like
going with
to,
this?
You like to drink a little wine, right? You
love
like
wine.
wine. Yeah. I know that.
Dude, really?
I like, my wife got me into wine, right? When me and her first met each other, she came down to visit me and I knew she liked wine. I'm from Nebraska.
Mhm.
You know, wine was not. It was
Yeah.
beer. And that was,
Oh, we're talking about a different wine. I was looking
Yeah.
at you like I'm like, bro, like he don't whine. Like, look at you. You say your wife whines. I think you whine a lot
Oh,
more than your
God.
wife. Oh,
There's-
wrong wine.
there's
Sorry,
Trevor.
guys. I'm making you
So,
dumber.
These wines, and when I first met her,
So
I brought
dumb.
her a bottle of Boone's Farm.
What's
Damn.
booze? Is that the box? Is that wine in the box?
It's like way worse.
It's wine in a
cooler.
glad bag,
Yeah,
like
it's
what they
wine
travel
cooler.
with.
It's just barely wine.
Yeah, it's very much. It was, believe me, I didn't impress her with it, okay? So, that being said, I do got something for you today. We're going to do a little competition. I got 4 bottles of wine.
You got to drink all of them? Let's
No,
go.
We got to finish the
have
bottles.
Let's
we'll
go.
We'll have a little taste test. I got some different ones. I got Cabernet, Merlot, Pinot Noir, and red wine.
Peter Knorr? Is that how you say that?
I think, I don't know. I hope
Bless
so.
you.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, you nailed it.
That's how you say it?
Yeah.
It's spelled peanut, no horror.
Yeah, that's what I was
Right?
like.
But it's French, so you got to ignore like half the letters.
I always looked at that one and thought it was a bad word. I was like, that is a
Well,
negative wine.
like a cab or Sauvignon Blanc.
Sauvignon Blanc?
Yeah, I tell them I'll take some Young Blanc.
Yes.
That's what I say. All right, where's
A young
Alexander at?
blonde? Is that what you said?
Yeah, some Young Blanc. That's what I
Sauvignon
call it. But anyways, yeah, we got these bottles coming in. Let's do this. Yes. Oh, she's on point. Look at this.
What's up, Alexandra?
Alexander in the house.
Drew, this is our chef. This is the one that cooks for all the athletes here. Amazing, dude.
All right.
Yeah.
Caught my attention
Dude.
because honestly,
If you need food, you need good,
Dude.
healthy food. Because I know it's hard when you're training. Let us know.
food's been my problem, so I'm all for that. Speaking of food,
She don't make
that's how I
pizza.
got into wine. So I was never I had never drank alcohol,
Yeah.
and stuff like that. But I'm in love with food. I'm obsessed
Yeah,
with food.
me
I mean,
too.
it
I
goes
love
hard,
that
right?
shit, yeah.
And for some reason, food and wine just complement each other. It's just hard to say that like with like bourbon or rum. Like it doesn't. You don't share it with food. So food was the
This guy
gateway
does.
to wine.
Dude, you should see him, dude. He pours it on his steak. I'm like, you're supposed to cook with it, Luke.
He's from Nebraska.
I know.
Those whiskey
Yeah,
marinated
yeah.
steaks.
So
I
I'm not gonna say
didn't either.
whiskey. It's wild turkey,
All right. So this is what we're gonna do. Wild turkey.
dude. Well, you look like a wild turkey guy. Don't you?
We
I
don't
got
know what these
paperwork.
are.
What am I paperwork?
Okay,
is?
so
Oh,
we're just
okay.
we're just gonna take a little dab. Trevor, let me see your glass.
What's a dab? That sounds like something that you do with like that weed pipe that looks like crack.
No.
That's what a dab is, isn't
That
it?
is definitely a dab. and You're
dab.
not wrong.
Dude.
So we're dabbing this wine.
Dude, and then so my daughter had this
Give me a glass.
my daughter had this picture of someone going like this, and it said dab. And I was like, she was like so young. She's 18 now.
Yeah.
But I was like, who gave her that shirt? I thought like the weed shirt.
Yeah.
Someone go like this, and it was like a dab. I guess that's a dab. Or
Yeah, dab.
dude, I'm a dad.
No, it's all right. I can't keep up either.
No, hey, we should do dab jokes where we get
Dab
really high. Dude, we do dab jokes. Oh. Oh, you want me to drink wine?
Right.
Dude, I'm a lightweight, dude. I'm like 82 pounds, soaking wet.
That's it. We're gonna get you hammered. I do want to
let's
add
go.
here, like Trevor Wittman is an amazing coach, but the thing I fell in love with is his amazing dad jokes.
Oh, they're
like
the best.
you can show me technique,
They're the
sure,
best.
but you better start throwing some dad
Dude,
jokes. That's
they're-
why I'm
they-
here.
They are the best. Hey,
He got some.
Dude, he got
hey,
some.
do you want to
good
hear one?
ones. Yeah.
Should I
let's,
make one up?
Let's
Okay.
throw one.
Okay, one before we go, Luke. Sorry,
All right.
this could be short. Look, you get mad at my dad jokes. He goes like this.
I hear him every day.
Dude, he does the Nate Marquardt. Nate Marquardt, you smile and go like this with his eyes and go. Like he's like, had enough of them. Okay, you want one? Okay, let's go on.
hear
Okay.
one.
What do you call a tree in the sunrise?
Oh my God, this is good. So
It's going to be really bad.
You don't even need to try to guess it.
Yeah.
I'm just ready
Okay.
for this.
Morning wood.
that was actually pretty good.
That's dumb, dude.
That
Come
was
on.
actually-
I
that
like it
one.
when people shake their head, go like this, like, huh? Huh? I don't get it.
All right, so
All right, hold on. So, as we look at it, our options are Cabernet, Pinot Noir, Merlot, or a red blend.
Yes. Why is he explaining how the game goes on? This is your game.
he's a connoisseur now.
Because I'm
Damn.
mispronouncing. All right, so we got
So
to
you
look
gotta-
at it
you
though.
gotta twist
it.
Already
Damn.
looking at it, I think it's the Pinot Noir
got smell.
because Pinot Noir looks watered down. That's kind of like my cue, but I could just be making this
Really?
shit up.
You know it like that? My looks? I thought it was all because it's a taste test. You can't look at it. We got to hide
So
it.
whether I'm speaking with conviction,
Dude,
I don't
listen.
know what the
What
hell
are you
I'm
doing?
talking
What's
about.
it? What's this about?
And it was just me trying to be fancy. I have to watch a YouTube video on the
They
way
do
here.
like this. They put their
We're trying to
nose.
be sophisticated.
Yeah, I got my pinky out and everything. I'm trying
They
to be
put their
cool.
nose all the way in it.
Yeah,
What's
that's
the
it.
point of that? Oh,
gotta
that
dip your
actually
nose
smells
in.
really good. Smells really good.
That's like could be a red wine.
No, that's Pinot Noir.
It is a red wine.
I'm committing to the Pinot Noir.
Okay. Oh, there's red wine down here. I was like, dude, obviously it's red.
Do you unveil it? Okay.
So I'm going with. What'd you guess?
I'm going with red wine on the first
I'm
one.
doing the Pinot.
Not now, Merlot. Hey, what's that? What movie is that from?
Merlot?
Marlowe.
Is that a
want now?
Merlot?
I watch dumb movies.
Oh, are we doing all the glasses first? Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Damn.
Yeah. Okay. This one.
So Trevor, you better
You better bottom up it.
Oh,
Hit
damn.
a
Oh,
shot.
we get Vickle. Oh, damn. Oh, shots. I like that a lot better. Here we go.
It's like what is it? Like church wine?
Hey, I want to ask a question because you know wine so well. I can tell. Oh,
I wouldn't go that far, but
No,
yeah.
I can tell. Dude,
All right.
the confidence you have with your white shirt and red wine. Okay. Why does it turn my teeth purple? Dude, I was having wine one night and I came home, dude. I was like, bro, my teeth are purple.
Dude, it stains your face. Yeah.
Oh, dude,
Yeah,
dang.
you gotta keep your wine napkin and just rub that off real quick.
Damn,
but-
if I'm like looking at it trying to say I'm gonna come up with a black eye.
All right, bottom two.
But, damn, that's a lot, Luke, for these taking shots.
Just make sure you smell it though. Dip your nose in it.
My nose don't work too good. My little holes don't line up. I don't know if you've noticed, it's a little crooked.
That's the red blend. That's the prisoner.
That's good.
The prisoner.
Yeah,
can tell that one's
that's
good.
the label.
Okay, that one's good.
So
huh?
I saw. I'm a part of a wine
Dude, we were
club.
talking about the cell. Like he fought in the cell before. Then he's coming.
And I'm
He's talking
drinking
about the
some prisoner.
prisoner.
That's it. That's how I live my life.
Holy smokes! He's
That's
gonna have
good.
a shank next.
This is definitely prisoner, but it's a red blend.
So this
I
is
think-
red
I
wine.
think you're right, and I screwed up.
That's it.
Damn
The
it.
thing is, like, I'm speaking with conviction, trying to sell you guys on
I'm
it.
doing what I did on my SATs. A B B B B B B B B C B B B B B B. I'm guessing on each one. I have no idea.
Oh,
I didn't even know there's. I thought red wine was red wine. Yeah. I
mean,
thought the Cabernet was like a, like
what it
isn't
does
Cabernet like a
for
strip
you
club?
is just red wine. What it does for you, it's
Yeah.
my liquid charisma. Yeah, this is how I learned
That's
how to
like
talk to people.
this is where Luke hung out his whole life at the Cabernet. Isn't that like a strip club?
Diamond Cabernet.
I think it is, dude.
That's why I'm broke. I'm gonna have to go with
Okay, hold
cab.
on, I gotta throw
I'm gonna
this
do
back.
cab. You're gonna do the red blend.
I'm gonna
I already
do
done.
Pinot Noir.
Ooh, there we go. All right, drink it up, boys. That one was good.
That's what I'm telling you.
Dude, all alcohol is better to the second one, even better to the third one.
I went to Napa Valley and I started doing like the taste testing, and you're not wrong.
Told you
Yeah.
he's the real deal.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
You're like, this
the
one's
more
even
I started
better.
drinking, the better the wine was, and I was
If
like,
you want to get a wine deal, you set your bottle up at the end.
Like,
And
you
they're
might-
going to be like, oh, it's the best one. Winner.
yeah.
Last
It
one
was
you
just a
had.
box wine they had in the back, and I'm like, this is the best one.
Hand me a glass.
Dude, we should do that for a test. Guarantee you.
Dude, can I
Come on,
can,
long pour. Long pour. Come on.
I'm gonna spill this.
can I express my like anger with Justin Gaethje right now?
Yeah.
That he got this 19 Crimes sponsor deal.
That was his
wine,
19 Crimes.
And I've been sending them messages since 2016.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they just now started sponsoring the UFC, and they
Yeah.
got Gaethje, and I went I'm over here
19
in the
Crimes?
corner going, I hate all you guys.
I pictured you like a guy that was like very religious. And I say
They
this.
like
in-
wine.
I know
You
how
know
my
why?
face looks.
No, it's not that. It's your name. I thought you were Jewish.
There's a.
Dude, I got him.
Dude, I'm here for this. I'm here for it.
Druish. Get it? A Druish. I was going to ask you about Spaceballs and who are the Druids?
Hello. That's my guess.
Dude, I'm already drunk.
I mean, you already.
Got the giggles.
Dude, I've never thrown back wine shots before.
Yeah, well, there's always a first. Mm.
I'm taking this way too serious. I'm super competitive. I'm
No,
not gonna
good.
get this-
Yeah, just-
Can't be getting this wrong.
If I beat you on all
Yeah,
A,
the
B,
other
B,
two
B,
I
B,
felt pretty confident with. This one I'm like, ooh.
we should have just put like a freaking wild turkey in one of
I
these.
know.
With a
the
little
whiskey, I
red
know
dye
that
with
one.
some like what are those Easter egg dyes?
All right. I'm only because you said Merlot. I'm going with the cab on this one.
You could be right. That's good. I usually.
I mean, this is good though. This is good.
They're getting way better. That first one was very tart.
It's always the first one. Yeah, that was good.
All right. Pour the Merlot.
Okay, then we got to do. Hey,
It's in my case. it's
Alexandra,
Pinot
if you're
Noir.
listening out there, we're gonna need more of these things because we're gonna do 1 round, 2nd round, 3rd round, 5-round fight.
We got whites. We have rosés.
Let's see if we
like,
get better.
we got
you know?
bubbles. I mean,
We got champagne.
we have a cot back here. We're gonna take a little nap.
Oh, we're gonna do. I'm gonna be drunk, Luke.
Nah, just a little bit. All right. Oh, man, I think I'm right.
Seriously?
Yeah, I think I'm right.
Yeah, because you
dog.
can see through this shit. He's like this.
No,
Every
I
time
can't.
he's like this, he like looks down. In the bottle.
I am not cheating. I know my palate, you know?
Ah, man, I think I'm wrong. I think this might be the cab.
Dang, this one's good.
Mm-hmm.
This is definitely not Pinot Noir.
I'm definitely winning this, dude. I am the best at playing cards because they all think I don't know what I'm talking
No, I
about
think
over here.
I think I messed up. I think this is the cab. But anyway, we're doing
It's
the
definitely
Merlot.
the cab. It's definitely the cab. It's 100%
Hey, you
the
wanna
cab. He's
switch?
getting nervous. He's saying like he's getting nervous. I pulled a
wanna
rope of
switch?
dope.
Huh?
You want to switch it?
No, we're committing just because I'm being
Nah, I'm
competitive with you.
committed.
So put that Merlot next to it.
Here you go.
This is
Either way,
good.
I mean, I'm winning because Trevor's drunk and I'm
Yeah,
in
dude.
the same room. So
Cabernet Sauvignon.
nailed
Dude,
it.
my spelling is like really good, dude.
Whew.
Hey, you know I was really good at math, right? You heard that?
You are?
No, seriously, but only no minuses. Just
Why?
ADD.
See, when you open a can of worms with him, and it's
Sorry.
done.
This is why I showed up.
It's done. It is done.
See, Luke, you need me.
All right, this one going here.
Sorry, I dropped it. Dude, that's like your check. That shit bounced.
Oh, okay.
Oh my God, dude. I'm a fun guy to hang out with you on wine, I guess.
All right, this is what we got.
'Kay.
We're gonna pull the things and see what we have.
Pinot Noir.
Oh,
nailed
I'm
it.
wrong.
You nailed it?
Dang, Drew, you are good.
Just because like Pinot Noir looks watered down, and so like between cab blend and this is like this was the only one that like
Fill this one up. It
I
looks
said
watered down.
wine. Trevor said Merlot. Drew said Pinot Noir.
All right,
Look at
it's
that
a 1 to
win.
nothing right here.
keep
Me,
it.
me
Yeah,
and Luke
good
are
job.
losers.
Loser.
this is the prisoner. Do your best.
Dude, you even remember what you put in there, dude.
Dude,
I'm
is
so
it-
drunk right now, I
Ah!
don't remember.
I failed.
Oh, it's the cab.
I got that one.
That means
No.
all of them are messed up now.
Yeah.
like damn.
All right, Trevor, wrong.
Ah.
Drew, wrong. Red wine. Luke's back in it. Tied up 1-1. Okay.
Dude, you do not like.
Look at that.
I
That was a-
swear,
Dude, I might have gotten this then.
I
Dude, you might have beat me.
Yeah.
You might have beat me.
Oh my God.
now- Luke,
My wife's gonna be so proud of me.
Hey, Luke, you not winning no alcohol contest unless it's like freaking moonshine. or
This is the
something.
Merlot for sure.
It is.
Come on.
Nope.
What is it?
Merlot.
Oh,
All right, so I got it.
You got it, huh?
All right, I got that one.
Trevor said cab, which is pretty close, I think.
I did it because of him.
Drew, Merlot, I said the Pinot Noir. You got me, bud.
So now it comes down to did you get this one? Then we're tied,
Yep.
and we got to bring in a tiebreaker,
Oh, dude, we got a
and
tiebreaker.
we're gonna chug it.
Yeah.
Oh my God, who tied?
We should have did like whiskey versus like tequila to see who knew.
The last one was prisoner.
The prisoner was the last.
Mm-hmm.
All right, T said red wine.
It was fucking red. I still got it. I can't
Wait, no,
even
he
drink
did.
it. I'm
Wait,
scared
no,
to drink
but,
it.
But he said that was the red wine.
Yeah.
It was the red blend, so Trevor got that one.
Yeah.
He said cab, and I said Merlot.
So we all have one. I
2
have
to
two.
1.
You have two.
I have two.
2 to 1. And he
it.
is the wine
He is the
king.
winner.
I deserve
Dude,
another glass.
Yeah, that's
Dude,
You
pour
pick
me-
your
If
choice.
he doesn't
Prisoner
get a
with the
glass
prisoner.
poured, he's gonna be
Prisoner?
whining.
All right. So, Drew is the winner, and Drew, I'm not gonna lie.
Hey, what's the best one? I want to have a drink with you.
I'm not gonna lie. I think this one is.
The prisoner is the.
I definitely do. That being said, since you were the winner, look what I got you, bud.
Oh my God, you're adorable.
You got a gift?
Oh,
Damn.
there it is.
There it is. I got you
With the
a bottle of-
Cabernet,
Yeah.
this is the best one too.
Yep.
This
I
is the
got
best
you,
one.
bro.
Oh man,
I just wanted to
appreciate
say congratulations.
Thank you so
To,
much.
all your success. Like you are literally a pioneer in the sport, man. And like a
Absolutely,
kid
dude.
coming from Nebraska, like I know what
And
it's like coming
never
from
changed.
Nebraska, right? Like
You're the same mentality, same
And-
person. The fight game changes so many people.
I'm
You
just,
have not
I'm
changed.
just, I'm
It's
just
amazing.
I'm out.
very
I'm
happy.
out here with quotes and TED talks, and so another one I got for you is never let another person break your smile, right? And so I never let the fight game change me
Yeah,
at all.
that's
I'm
sweet.
I'm gonna stay the same person, just better.
Yeah.
You know what? You know what Luke's quote is?
What is
It's
it?
either you smoke or get smoked.
Just
That is my quote.
wherever you're going, that's where you'll be.
Hey, you want to know what my quote is? The
What's
higher the sock, the downer the fool. You
Terrence,
want to see my socks?
help us, dog.
You want to see
Help
my
us.
socks? You want to see how high they go? Look at,
Help
look, I
us,
tell you
sir.
what. Look,
I
I
don't
got
think I can help.
double layer socks.
That's over your knee and everything. Good
The
Lord.
higher the sock, the downer the fool.
He is down.
Something about a tortilla, the more I'm gonna do. Check them out. Hey, that's a good song.
So, anyways, cheers. So
Cheers.
What's next for Drew? What's the plan?
I mean, we're still doing this, so it's pretty cool to think about that. You know, with my knockout with Michael Johnson, like we're still doing the same thing. So now we're just to expand upon it. I want to see how many times I can get this done before it's all over. And man, I'm very. I love the process. I love what we've been working. I love the results. And so now we're just taking each fight one at a time
Yeah.
until retirement. And I'm going to try to make it a banger every time.
You never know when you get a contract. You had a baby, so you had a due date. And when he gets a contract, he gets a Drew date.
Only Trevor. You
They're the ones that got. Yeah, I feel like you guys are trying to get me drunk. You guys
No,
roofie one of
this
these?
is-
You get
this
roofie
is-
one of
no.
these?
Oh, I definitely
He
did.
slammed it.
I like.
He
Yeah,
slammed it.
I see. Damn, I see Drews.
So this is what's cool about the revolution. What do you call it? The revelation. Maybe I'm drunk.
No,
shit.
no, you're definitely
I
drunk,
just can't
dude.
talk.
We're all feeling good.
The revolution of the sport, like when you get-
Evolution.
there you go.
Dude, are you? We all gonna go fight each
Revolution.
other, dude? Hey, red quarters. Everybody who fought red quarters in their life
Evolution.
fights the blue quarters.
Evolution of the sport, right?
there you
Damn,
go.
what,
Dude.
I know.
Dude.
I would mess
The
up my dream.
lyricist, Luke, the lyricist. Sir
You
slurs
have
a lot.
literally came into the sport when it was young. Contracts weren't where they were at. Bonuses weren't where they're at. Like I tell people freely about this. My contract in the UFC was $3,000 a show, $3,000 a win. And my last fight I got before I got fired, I got one of those bonuses, $2,500.
Oh,
That's
there
an
you
outdoor
go.
sizzling,
There
bro.
you go.
We went to Golden Corral. I took the whole family, bro. You know what I mean? And like now, since the Paramount deal, you guys got they upped the bonuses and everything, and you got a piece of that now.
Yeah. Well, I can announce with you guys that I just signed a 6-fight contract with the UFC.
Amazing.
So we're doing it again.
Hell yeah.
We got a fun Paramount bump.
Yep.
We got that bonus, which is $100K. And,
How much did you make in your first MMA fight?
first MMA fight?
Yeah.
He paid
I
to
think-
fight.
Dude, that pretty
paid-
much it.
I literally paid $125 my first fight, I think. Plus, gas getting Okoboji, Iowa.
That's a professional right there.
That's it.
My opponent got snowed in, Okoboji, Iowa. So the main event, the guy got snowed in too. I became the main event, and I ended up making $500.
There you
Dude, I was like winning.
That's a proud man right
I
there.
was
dude.
winning, bro.
Let's just say I can't remember when I started getting paid.
Yeah.
So when I
mean-
first started fighting, it was just the love of the game.
Love to do it.
Just the love of the game.
Yeah.
And then I started getting paid. I'm like, oh, this is pretty cool.
I found out that fighting is really hard, so I just became the best arguer. I like, you know what? That shit hurt. You know what I mean? I still got a nose whistle.
Well, congratulations on the new contract. I mean, I'm excited for it because
Me too.
we get to see you fight again.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? Like, it's a tough. It's a job, man. It's like anything. Like I always say, man. Like getting there is easy. It's keeping the job, keeping the sponsors, keeping all this and that. That's the hard part. Getting them is not that hard. It's keeping them.
Yeah.
keeping it, your job.
I've seen his resume. You should see Kinko's. There's Kinko's out there. There's Taco Bell. There's like all this
No
shit.
more wine for this guy.
Dude, I tell you what, this man, dude, he's keeping his jobs was really tough. He's like, how do I clock in again? You worked here for a year.
Well, we also got to say too, congratulations to the team. Justin Gaethje gets to unify this belt.
Yeah.
I was in the back room getting stitched up when I heard the announcement, and man, I was so excited, but I couldn't move.
How amazing to face the guy that no one thinks anybody could ever beat. Like, I love this sport. It's so crazy how they're just like, dude, he is so like he's on a run. He's a killer. Like, we have the utmost respect, but those are the ones that get up for it. And the key is Justin has put in his time, and Justin always goes out there and gives his all to the company. And I'm really glad the company's given him an opportunity to go show America. And he loves America. He asked me, where's the flag today? I rolled it up in a triangle.
Oh, you did.
Well, dude, it was getting dropped on the ground. I'm like, you don't put a flag on the ground.
Yeah.
But it looked like he was going to fuck me up. I'm like, what, dude? What do I look like? Polish? Do I look Polish? Like, what? Your wife's Polish.
Yeah, no, you're not.
Why?
Polish.
Why do I look Polish?
I don't think you do.
Do I look German? Are you
I mean, you do.
You look more Polish than German.
really?
He definitely has a nose.
Dude, yeah. No, I got a nose piece. I tell you what. So
That's why I was asking you to smell the wine because
I
you were
was a
getting in there
sprinter.
deep, like.
Dude, I was a sprinter until I started boxing. And then this motherfucker got turned over to the side. Dude, I hit them sprints.
Dude.
D-track right off the track.
fin was taking
Dude,
you
but,
off.
yeah, when I had children, we'd go to the pools. Like, we'd go to, the nice hotel, and they had these pools. And there's so many people in the pool. You don't know if people are peeing in there. I was like, let me get in there. And I'd do the backstroke, and my nose would be out of the thing. Dude,
Everyone's out of the pool?
Dude, they thought I was a shark. I tell you what.
No wonder you're a sprinter. You had the
Dude,
range
I tell-
advantage.
I tell you
You're
what.
always past that line immediately.
If I was to be a pro fighter, I would have asked Golden Palace to tattoo one of those things on there for a sponsor. You know what I'm saying? It's like
All
a
right,
billboard. I tell you
Dwayne
what.
had a billboard on his back. Yep.
Yeah, I don't know. Sorry.
Speaking of like sponsors and stuff, like you have a few sponsors, probably, huh?
I mean, we got people to thank and all that stuff, but I think what I really want people to do is go to drewdober.com, sign up for the newsletter, because I'm going to be doing some fun things. I'm going to try to get into the coaching world and start doing live seminars, meet and greets, and then
Nice.
to be involved in all that, sign up for the newsletter. You'll be the first to know where I'm going to be at, what am I doing, but I'm going to start telling coach the next generation on how to knock people out.
Amazing.
Heck yeah.
I love it. The future is in
Giving back.
his
Yeah.
clothing line.
Yeah.
Ike just drew it.
Dude, I need merchandise right now. Dude, every slogan he throws, and I'm writing this
It
down.
doesn't
Drew
stop.
it, dude. Just drew it.
Oh my gosh. Well, I mean, honestly, drewdober.com, huh? Check it
drewdober.com.
out. Sign up for the newsletter. And if you want to know about wine, hit him up because he done B2B.
I'm 2-2, so
Yeah.
it can be approved, but
That's pretty damn good with
We're
the white
working
shirt.
on
Look
it.
at his white
Yeah.
shirt. I've been watching his white shirt.
I
Look at that
know.
shit is-
I'd have red Spain all over. Like it's not
Red
good.
Spain?
Yep. Spain.
Dude, I wanted, dude,
I love
honestly,
this web, Brian.
we could turn this off and keep it going just for bloopers. Cheers, guys.
All right.
Cheers, Drew.
Cheers.
Thank you.
cheers to all the success. And
Congrats on your success, bro.
we got to let these people know that Colorado's the hub
Yeah.
for MMA. So if you want to
Yeah.
learn how to beat people
It
up,
really
dude,
is.
Colorado's the spot.
You know, some people come to America and they ain't from America. They Nebraskan. You know? I didn't come to Colorado either. You know, they Nebraskan. you know?
Oh my
I'm not
God.
from Colorado either.
All right.
Like Colorado's like the mini America.
It is.
Yeah, pretty good.
It
But
really
can
is.
I do add like something's in the water because Nebraska creates the greatest fighters of all time.
They do.
Terrence Crawford,
Seriously.
best boxer in the world
absolutely,
currently.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
As you're talking about Omaha.
Yeah, Omaha's
Because Nebraska,
Hey,
come on,
hey,
bro.
Come on.
just missed it. You're
Dude,
almost
I
there.
was close,
You're
though.
almost.
I traveled there a lot.
I'm
I
sorry.
competed a lot there. But that, honestly, we got to give Nebraska a shout out, man. Yeah, because you doing it still.
Yeah,
And
we
I'm
doing
proud
it.
of you, man. I'm proud of you. Like, honestly, man, as growing up and we were supposed to fight each other and this and that, like, you know, you always were like, oh, man, that guy's going to be good. And then I saw your calves and legs. I was like, man, who the hell is this guy? And, like, as a fan now, I'm like, man, how cool would that have been to have Drew Dober on my resume?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That would have been better.
It would have been cool.
He
but-
likes legs.
Yeah, apparently.
He does.
Yeah.
Like,
we can
show
still
him
scrap
the
it up at
tattoo.
Onyx.
Yeah, you know
Show
what
him your
I'm saying?
tattoo. Show him your tattoo.
I know, huh?
Show him your tattoo. Justin on your cat. Do you imagine
Which
like
one?
how
The-
big of a portrait you could have put on his
it
shirt?
had Drew on there?
The
No,
inner
you-
thigh one he's got going
Dude,
on
he's
right
got
now?
he's got Justin Gaethje. He was like, dude, where should I put it? He's like, should I put it on my ass? And I'm like, don't definitely
Lower
don't put
back
on
it.
your ass.
Lower back
Because he
it.
didn't want to show it. Because
No, not on my tramp
you
stamp.
did not think Justin was gonna win.
I did.
You
I'm
knew
just
it.
an
What?
idiot.
No, like seriously, we're having drinks one night, and he's talking shit to Justin because he likes to get underneath Justin's skin, which helps him perform.
Yeah.
He's a great key to what we do. But you remember, you're
Oh,
like,
I
dude,
know.
if you win this belt when we fought Tony Ferguson, I'm gonna get a tattoo on my body, and I'm picturing like dead middle of the chest, you know, like Jesus, you know,
No.
like, dude, you look like seriously, like I thought
got
you
it
were gonna do
here.
it.
I got it here.
Look it's Justin as a baby
Oh my God,
with
that's
glasses
awesome.
on. It is so amazing.
That ain't bad though. That ain't bad. That's a good one.
Well,
Dude,
people-
and he had
people-
to talk to his wife because you know he does things when he gets drunk, and then he's got to go explain it to his wife. So
Well, no, my wife was like, "Why did you put it right there?" I was like, "Babe, everybody's gonna want to see it.
It
If
could have
I-
been worse.
Yeah, I
could've been
said
worse.
people were gonna like if I put it on my butt cheek. You know what I mean? Like
Then people are gonna look at your butt cheek.
Yeah, and I'm like,
no,
this
because
isn't-
you want to show it off. You're
No.
like one of those.
Nobody
one-uppers.
wants to see that.
It's a
ass.
good. It's a good one.
It's a flat butt.
Okay.
Dude, my favorite part, we're going to close out the show, but my favorite part about the Tony Ferguson fight was me and Justin Gaethje were doing those speakeasy sparring sessions during
Yeah.
the pandemic. Dude, we were just like opening up closed ass gyms, like freezing cold. They didn't even
Yeah.
have heat on.
Dude, you
Nothing.
remember
We
the
were
lights
doing-
off and we're sneaking in.
We were sneaking into gyms, just sparring championship rounds.
At Easton's, like you had to get tested.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like we had to sneak. Like we probably broke the rules. I am very sorry, Elliot and Amal.
Beep beep.
I knew the code. No, I'm
we
joking.
were all
Made it
getting
up.
tested for sure.
Everybody was doing it though, and that's how we just overcame it, right?
Yeah.
And that was a time where it was crazy because, man, we didn't know really what was gonna happen.
No, we had no idea. I rolled into a training session and it was like, all fights are canceled up into this point. And I'm like, all right, we're not fighting
Remember
anything.
all sports and
Yeah,
UFC was the
all
only one that
sports.
happened. We
And then
went.
48 hours, UFC was like, hey, can you fight? I was like, all right.
Yeah.
Like, it was just a crazy
Not-
time.
Dude, going into an arena and fighting with no one there was one of the most spectacular things to hear the shots because the
Yeah.
echo in that big room. But it was so weird.
It was weird.
But you got to give to the UFC. They still played the entrance songs.
I know.
Like, they played the walkouts for no
Blaring,
reason.
blaring, dude.
For no
I'm
reason.
like, dude, turn it down a notch. You know what I mean? Like it was so loud. I'm like, there's no one here.
Hey, do you remember the time though? Like, so they made us wear masks.
Oh yeah.
Dude, and we took the freaking. How did you have a skid mark on your mask? Dude, you had a perfect skid mark, dude. What the hell? He pulled that shit off, and I was like, bro, perfect skid mark. Like I was washing my son's underwear.
Yeah.
Because it was just multitasking. It was from top to bottom, that mask was covering.
I
He had that
thought-
face diver on
I
like
thought
a
it
champ.
was a different mask, and I was, ran out.
You thought it was a diaper?
Flip-flopping it.
A man diaper?
Uh,
Dude, this wine is good.
no,
should
now he
drink
likes
wine.
wine. Now, see,
That's it.
See?
That's it. He's a wine drinker.
it's a goofy. I will tell a real quick story. The first time
This show was supposed to be over 32 minutes ago. Keep going. Let's
The
go.
first time I drank wine, I came up here to Colorado, and my wife loves wine. She's like, "Hey, drink wine with me," and I was like, "All right, let's do it." Right? I drank one of these good wines, better wines that I've no blood for. Dude, I got so giggly and just how happy and like I was like, "Dude, this is awesome."
Dude, I think we could be best friends.
It's liquid charisma. Dude, just
Really?
combine wine with cigars, dude. You're best friends with
You
everyone.
like samurai swords too? Dude, it's like one of those experiences.
it is.
What movie is that from? What movie is that from?
Step Brothers.
Step Brothers.
Step Brothers. Dude,
Dude.
I actually feel like you're like a step brother. You're like,
Yeah.
we brought you across the border.
Yeah, we are.
I brought you across the border. I was like, hey, this is my brother. He's
Oh,
German.
Hey, dude, this
I
guy
was like-
called
I
me a
was like-
wetback on here.
No,
dude.
seriously. Dude, to get him across the border,
It's crazy.
to get him across the border, I had to put a bandana on. I was like, bro, when we come up here, you have to be like, "Psst, what's
Go
that from?
Raiders."
What's that from? What's that? You
Go
don't know where that's from?
Raiders.
No, what's that from?
Cheech and Chong.
Thank you.
Go Raiders.
Coming to America.
Go
I mean,
Raiders.
what was it?
Go Raiders. That's Cheech and Chong.
What's the name of that movie?
Cheech and Chong. Up in Smoke.
No.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Bull.
No, when he gets set down because he didn't have his green card, but he's really American citizen. What's the name of that movie? And he goes down there, and remember all the Oriental people were trying to get up?
I thought
And
it
he's
was Up
like,
in
hey, man,
Smoke,
put on
wasn't
your
it?
thing, and then he's all, and they're like, psst, psst, psst. They have that, like,
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Up in
No, it's
Smoke.
not. Oh, no, that's
It was Cheech and Chong for sure, though.
They have so many movies out. Like, I'm hard.
Yeah,
Like, you can't
yeah.
keep track.
Dude, I want to shave your beard and put a line right here, and then, dude, come
All right,
on.
Terrence. Enough.
Is that enough?
It's
Come on, is
kicking
it
in.
over? Come on.
It's kicking in.
Another glass.
Drew, thanks again.
Dude, thank you so much, guys.
Guys, I appreciate it, man.
Thank
I
you, Drew.
really, hey,
You're the
T,
man.
it's always fun. I'm glad we got him to drink some wine. Honestly,
Dude, we should drink wine every time. I like this.
Starting this up.
Dude, he had us
Just
doing
bring me
hot-
back and we'll
Dude,
do it again.
He
This
made us
is
do
fun,
hot
huh?
wings. Seriously, my
Oh, yeah,
butt,
hot wings
my
were
butt
not
has
good.
not recovered. I still got blisters.
Yeah,
That was rude.
my ulcer just not the same either.
I thought you said your arsehole.
Awful, awful.
You said ulcer, not
right.
asshole.
I know. All right, we out.